This is Steve Zumbrun again, and I'm on my 5th video, and I got my Tampa Bay Ray hat on. And what I want to do, I'm going to make it quick, but I want to break down each segment of this miracle hearing from God experience that I had back in 2012. To me, it's the most remarkable story, the most amazing story that I've ever heard, and nobody, in my estimation, could top this story. This is when God came down to earth to me when I was running. I do my jogging every day, and it was a beautiful September night, and it was around 6 o'clock, and I was jogging, and I do my praying, and I talk to God, but I can't even put into words the experience the sensation of hearing from God about something so unusual. Here, the God of the universe interrupts my time in prayer to tell me that the Ravens were going to the Super Bowl. I mean, come on, how many people have you heard? How many people do you know has had God talk to them about something that seems to be so insignificant as a sporting event, but to God, everything's important because he wants the glory. And God gave me a very strict guidelines that he wanted to see done. And I'll name them. He wanted me to meet John Harbaugh. He wanted me to bring the glory, the Holy Spirit onto the team. He wanted to bless the team with many more Super Bowls. And if you're a Raven fan, which I wasn't, to me, that was him singling out, okay? He was singling out the Ravens that he wanted to bless. And I've talked to God, and I've asked him why, and God doesn't always answer my whys, but he said he wanted to bless the Ravens. He wanted to bring the Holy Spirit, the revival into the team, and he wanted to bless it through all those different circumstances. Now, if you remember, Ray Lewis was on the team in 2012, and he spoke highly of the Lord, of Jesus, and he would always give God the glory, Jesus the glory. And he mentioned Psalms 91. He mentioned no weapon formed against us will prosper. And God blessed that team. If you remember, they were only 10-6 that year, and they were tied with Cincinnati for the lead, but they got the tiebreaker. And teams were better than them. There was the Patriots were better. They had I think a 12-4, whatever, and Denver had a 13-3. So they were better teams in the league than they were. They kind of just got into the playoffs. But God had a plan, and this is a God of the universe. I mean, you can't take this lightly. When God speaks to you, when God takes the time to come into your life and give you a word, no matter what it is, could be anything. It could be a sporting event. It could be whatever he decides to talk to you about, but I found it amazing. And I didn't hear from God. That was the thing. After he spoke to me during that evening of September 2012, I didn't hear from him. He said I was going to go to the Super Bowl, but I hadn't heard from him since then. So when time approached, I was wondering how he was going to pull it off, how I was going to get down there, okay? And then if you listen to my other video, Lenny Moore, the Hall of Fame Baltimore Colt running back, called me around noon on that Wednesday before the game and asked me to go with him. And of course, he said, be ready and go because we're going to take, the Ravens are going to pay for everything, plus go to the game and plus hang out and everything else. So I just met with him Thursday. We took the plane to New Orleans, and that was history. I had the best time. I had to pinch myself the entire time because I didn't know why God picked me. Of all the people he could have picked in Baltimore, all the fans that would have loved to go on, and all the people that would have loved to experience what I experienced. Why did he pick me? Because I was prepared. I had the Holy Spirit. I understood God. I had a relationship with God for the past 50 years. I hear his voice all the time. But to me, again, this is one of the most amazing stories you'll ever hear in your life. And you don't mess with God. When God speaks, there's no higher voice. There's not a better relationship you could have with anybody on earth than you could have with Jesus. There's nothing better after you receive Jesus than get baptized in the Holy Spirit and receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit. One of those gifts is hearing God's voice. So here I am on the down in New Orleans, going to all the events and all everything. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better 4 days out of my life than what God took me through, and it was all God. I just want to emphasize that God is a great God, and when you serve Him, when you know Him, when you're filled with the Holy Spirit, great things will happen. Okay, I'm going to pick it up from that point on. My 6th video will be tomorrow, and explain actually what happened when I got down there, my feelings, emotions, and everything, hearing from God, because I knew this is only the start. This was like the starting point for me to be part of the Ravens. How many fans would have loved to be in my position, to meet Harbaugh, to become his friend, to go to camp anytime I wanted, to meet all the players, to dine in their dining area, to go in a practice field, to hang out, to be just, and here I didn't apply for the job. I didn't want the job. I didn't want that. But God wanted me there. So if you know anybody who they're fans of the Ravens, or they don't believe his story, it's true and it happened. But there's a lot more that I want to share. If you're a Raven fan, sorry about all the seasons of failure at the end. I got a lot on Lamar Jackson and my relationship with John concerning him and how John really felt. But I'm going to end it. I don't want to go too long. I'll make another one, and hopefully you're enjoying the journey that I went through and watching God. It's all about God. It's all about God. It's all about understanding the importance of relationship with Jesus Christ. So for now, I'm going to end it.